You're welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. And how's everybody doing today? And hopefully you're doing well today. Today I have an interesting video for you again, and this is for my African American brothers and sisters. I have a video here with me which the man said 80% of African Americans cannot afford to go to Africa because they are being trapped. Before I continue this video, I would like you to watch this short clip before we continue.
80% of African Americans, stop pretending, cannot afford to come to Africa.
Wow, really?
I'm saying they cannot afford. They may want it in their heart, but America has them shoes, have them bootstrapped, tied. Because guess what? They have to pay mortgage every month. They have to pay their car note every month. They have to pay their insurance every month. They can't even watch DSTV unless they pay every month.
Wow.
So how are you going to have money to say, let me go back and learn about my family, my history, my roots one every month? You have to worry about, I got to pay this. I got to pay. When do you get a break to think?
Wow.
But that's the system. This allows me to control you left, right. Because you never have time to stop and say, oh, how do I work on this, or where do I go from here? You don't have that time. And when you live in America, most people, if they're being honest, on the first of the month, from the first to about the 20th, 25th of the month is when you finish paying your bills.
Wow. Wow.
You probably got about maybe 5 to 7 days in a month that you can actually think without thinking about paying the bill.
Okay, you heard what the man said. He said 80% of African Americans, they cannot afford to come to Africa, even if they want to, because many of them are trapped. You know, I watched, there was a documentary I was watching, you know, about African American, not just African American, but American citizens as a whole. And I realized that 95% of America's citizens are their own debts. They are in debt. It's either they are paying mortgage, or they have credit card debt, or they have car payments, or there's always one thing stuck in their neck. And for the black people, it's not easy for them because many black people are not really financially buoyant to travel like the white Americans, because we all know that when it comes to the banking system, to the money system in America, the white people have more privilege than the black people. But when you come across some clip when people are trying to encourage African Americans to come to Africa to visit at least, you know, you hear some of them say, "Oh, I don't want to go to Africa, blah blah blah. They are suffering over there. Is there light over there? Is there water over there? Is there good schools over there? Or are they all animals over there? Is it animal kingdoms?" Sometimes they make it seem like Africa is animal kingdoms. Some of them will say, "Oh, I would like to go to Africa to see animals." Are you stupid? Sorry to use that language. But we have humans in Africa. Africa is not just about the elephant and giraffe that show you your black and white TV in the olden days. I mean, we have YouTube now. We have many resources you can use to research about Africa. You know, so for me, I believe what he said when he said that 80% of African America cannot go to Africa because the system have trapped you guys down. The system makes you believe that without America, without the United States, you have no home elsewhere, or you cannot create your own home elsewhere. You have been brainwashed. 90% of African Americans don't even have passport. They don't have it. When you tell them to go get a passport, it's like you telling them to go dig a cave and look for a gold. You know, they find it very strange. You know, so it's crazy. For me, I'm trying to use video to encourage African Americans, those who are willing, that's okay, they really want to visit the continent if you don't want to move there. And there are some that will say that Israel Hebrewites. They say they're from Israel. I don't know where I get that thought from when they say they're from Israel. For me, I believe every black man or a black woman, whether you went there by slavery or not slavery, I believe every black race is from Africa. And when I look at the history of Israel, Israel was founded in 1946 or 1914, I think. So how can you be Israelite? Before then, Africa was already existing. So, but I don't want to go into that part. But you can look it up. What year was Israel founded? I didn't say independent. Founded. Go and Google it. What year was Israel founded? You will see the year there. So I don't know how they came about Israelite. I remember Israel was supposed to settle in Uganda, but Idi Amin chased them away when they moved to where. I don't want to go deep into that though. But this video I'm making is to try to encourage the African American for those that are not trapped yet, because the system will always look for a way to trap you as a black man in that country. Because imagine all African Americans decide to move out from the United States today, the country will collapse. No doubt, African America builds almost big percentage of the United States. So you can't expect the white people to just let you go like that. And I always tell African American, sorry. I always tell these people that there are more opportunity for you in Africa than this place. And there's one stupid narrative I always hear that Africans don't like African American, which is a lie. I've never seen African American that go to Africa that receive this negative vibe unless you step on people's toes, unless you don't want to follow the laws, unless you think you can come to their country and do whatever you want, which you can't, which you always get the negative vibe. But if you go to African country and respect people's law, respect their traditions, do what you are supposed to do, and respect people, no matter whether it's a man or a woman, if you respect them, I'm sure they will always give you back the same energy. But there are some people that will tell you, oh, Africa, there's a lot of scammers over there, blah, blah, blah. Yes, there's a lot of scammers over there in Africa. If you try to be greedy, I always tell people, you can only be scammed when you are greedy. You can never be scammed when you are not. You can always be scammed. Maybe somebody tell you this is the way you're supposed to do. You said no, blah blah blah. You want to look for a cheaper way. Of course you will get scammed. Look for the right people before you do anything in Africa. There's a big opportunity for investment in Africa. If you have the money, I will not encourage you to look as an African American. I will not encourage you to go to Africa and look for a job, because you might not enjoy the life over there. But I will encourage you to go over there and start a business, which you will really really enjoy. Look at Elon Musk, for example. A few months ago, he launched Starlink, or whatever you call his network, in Nigeria. Nigeria is over 250 million people. People say 200 million people. I don't believe that. Nigeria is over 250 million people. Imagine if you can break through into that market. You will be a billionaire in few years. Ghana is over 35 million people. Togo is there, Benin is there, Ivory Coast is there, Cameroon is there. These are basically, apart from Cameroon, these are basically just West Africa countries. We have Kenya, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, so on and so forth, right? So Africa is 54 countries. Don't let these white folks lie to you and make it feel like Africa is just all one big giant country. That's why when people say, "Oh, I'm going to Africa," it's always annoying me. Specify where you are going. Ghana, Togo. Make people know that Africa is not a country; it's a continent of 54 countries, right? But let me say this again. I just want to encourage you guys. If you don't have money, before you get trapped, because definitely you're going to get trapped. As long as you live in America, you always get trapped, because you need the money to live. So the money will trap you over there, right? So before you get trapped, I will advise you, if you still have the money for now, go to Africa, visit. Ghana is there. Ghana is the most welcoming. I think it's not like other countries are not welcoming, but Ghana government did I think welcoming African American back in 2019. That some of them they are even giving them free land. Many African Americans are building in Ghana. Ghana, visit Nigeria, visit Togo, visit Benin, visit Ivory Coast, visit Uganda, visit South Africa, visit Tanzania. Start with visit. You don't have to move there today. Start with visit. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 days. Just visit and see for yourself. Stop hiding behind YouTube, some negative YouTube videos. Stop hiding behind your TV and telling us what is happening in our own country, right? Like I said, hopefully one day I see you in Africa. My name is still remain the Habit of Nations, and I'm waiting for you to come and invest and enjoy your freedom in your black country. Peace out.